May I now invite our speakers, Fritz, Alan, and Tingren, and Ms. Ping Wong, the Secretary General of Internet Society Hong Kong, on the stage for the Q&A session. Let's open the floor now for questions for the audience. Please feel free to ask any questions.
So I have to declare that I'm not a technical person, so don't ask me. So I'm just here to facilitate your questions. Okay, first of all, say your name, maybe your company if you want, and then questions to who, which speakers, okay? So who want the first question for our speakers? No question? Yeah, Peter.
Peter Young, Science Park. It's pretty much a hot topic. What do you guys look at your view on the security issue, the Snowden case? Thank you. That's good. Let's start up. What about for you?
This is a very hot question. Do you think anyone want to take it? I don't think so. Maybe, yes, security design, not specific on that case. For security, for big data security, any threat or?
The thing that shocks me the most about this particular case of security is that people seem surprised that something like this happens. There's so much to security. It's such an overwhelming topic that it's really fantastic that something like this has caused people to reevaluate it and look at it in a very real way. But I think that from a personal perspective, I kind of assume worst case scenarios when it comes to security and who has access to my data and what. So a lot of people will be very paranoid about how they handle security. I try to go with a good enough approach for myself. Like I use 1Password, which is a great app for using randomly generated passwords, but I'm not gonna, my laptop doesn't self-destruct, right, if I remove a USB key or something like that from it, because if somebody wants something badly enough, they're going to get it. And I think this is a perfect example of kind of showing that to more of the general public.
I have a question because people these days always ask about the stolen case or security thing. So what is the opportunity of big data? Let's see another side. What is the key opportunity for the big data? Can anyone of you?
So the way I see it is that it's not just the volume of data, but it's also a clear difference in the quality of data available, uniformity of data to some degree. So as scientists attacking a particular question today, I'd say they have a higher potential of making something meaningful out of it. It's also getting more and more difficult, of course, with the volume growing. I guess that's also a problem for NSA. As the more data they gather, the more they have to invest in making any sense of it. But yeah, I think there's the biggest potential is in the kind of data available, not so much the volume of it.
I'd like to know what big data is from other people actually, because it's one of those things that we're saying a lot right now. We talk a lot about big data, but I don't really know what that is. What is it? I mean, yeah, it kind of is, and I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what that is. A lot of data. I mean, and I think that's a really interesting problem for engineers. Like I was saying, like having more data as being a problem that you can give to people is exciting. But so that's a question for everybody else.
Okay.
Me.
So maybe not restricted to big data because some speakers talk about other things or or new trend or anything you can ask, not restricted to big data. So any question? Oh, okay, a few hands.
Let's say you're going to develop a brand new consumer facing application. What type of language, a web application, what language will you do it in? Can I just ask the general audience, the panel?
Well, I think if you're doing a web application, I mean, the first thing, the purpose of writing a web application, or a lot of developers intend to do so, is to be able to run it across multiple platforms. So the first thing you would look at, I mean, in terms of language, you're not running away from HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but you're also going to be considering different types of libraries that are supported across different platforms. So I think it was mentioned as well earlier, like Touch or jQuery Mobile. So you'll want to first, think about the target platforms that you want to go for, and whether or not you'll be able to cover it with different types of JavaScript frameworks and libraries out there that are available.
I'd like to add a bit of a sidetrack maybe. So Reactor is a consulting company, and we work on a bunch of different types of projects. And recently I've seen a trend that we're moving away from frameworks. And like a couple of years ago, a technology like CoffeeScript that compiles into JavaScript, that was like the business. But nowadays, it's a bit the opposite. Not for everybody, but there's a clear trend within our company that the closer to the metal you can get within the browser, that is, the more the better. Which is like, it's about magic. Magic is nice to look at, but if you need to reproduce it or change it somehow, it's not so simple anymore.
Okay. So next question.
Hello, I'm Sawyer. So I've got a question to Dr. Wang. So, I think the JavaScript framework you guys were doing is quite useful, just given the code base of C and C++. If you can compile those existing libraries to JavaScript, very useful. So my question is, it's actually will be even more useful if every browser was supported. It's only when the JavaScript engine recognizes the framework. So my question is any organization are moving it to standard? Okay, and another question is, if so, is there any other things in the way?
Can you repeat the last part?
Okay. So I think only when every browser supports it could be more useful, right?
Yes.
So it should be a standard, right?
Okay.
But according to keynotes, I saw that only Firefox supported right now. Is that correct?
No. Basically, the technologies is standard compatible. So it's using basically I just mentioned that there is a tool called Interpreter and the code sign called the SMWS, which is a spec. And both of those technologies can be applied to other browsers directly, such as Google Chrome or I don't know if Internet Explorer. I'm not sure. Because the technology, it just generates standard JavaScript. Of course, as I know that Internet Explorer is not capable of running
WebGL programs before 11, which is released just a couple of days ago. So, okay. So the JavaScript itself is runnable on every browser, I think, every standard compatible browser, but the libraries, I think it depends.
Okay, thank you. I took it wrong. I thought only when the JavaScript engine imported it could work. So, thank you anyway.
Okay, next question. Any more question?
I'm YTU from HP Hong Kong Computer Chapter. My question is directed to Lassie about agility in the cloud. In your talk, you mentioned a lot of tools for building and deployment. And when you talk about the testing part, you skip it and you said, come to me later, okay? So and I see most of the tools you mentioned increasing the performance in the sense of it shorten the time for development or deployment, you see the instant results and so on. But how about the testing part? When you want to say a few words on it, particularly not just for efficiency, not just for testing faster, but testing better. The quality of testing can be improved using any cloud tools or services. Can you say something about that?
So I haven't actually done cloud testing for user interface stuff for iOS, for example. What you can do is to get a private cloud set up, because I'm not aware of any cloud services providing OS X as a platform. But for iOS you need that. So the same theory applies though. If you can get a box that runs OS X and has whatever toolchain you have installed, you can parallelize, you can offload work from your laptop and so forth. So the same approaches apply in that regard. In other terms, how to test better, eventually it boils down to doing less of the things that you can teach the computer to do. There's a whole bunch of probably lives being spent every day just to test something that a computer could automatically check. So what I'd like to see over time is the professional testers focusing on things that they can really contribute to, rather than run scripted tests written on paper or Word documents.
Okay, any more questions? Speakers from the US.
Josh Everett. So about Snowden, no, just kidding. I wanted to ask a question to Britt about the Obama campaign is often viewed as being cutting edge, pioneering, and online campaigning, online politics. What's next for online politics?
Well, the thing I would speak to the most would be that, so I'm not deeply embedded in politics. I'm a huge nerd who was sourced by politics to do work that huge nerds have never done before. So I think that the biggest thing is for politics to, in many places where they haven't brought in outside people who don't fit their political ways of working on things, once they're comfortable bringing in other resources that they might not like for example, the tech team at Obama was, there were more gigantic bearded people than non-bearded people, right? Which doesn't fit your typical kind of political campaign scenario. And so I don't think it's going to be any particular thing. I think it's going to be them seeing what the success we had with the Obama campaign, becoming more open-minded to bring in a diverse group of people, whether it's huge dorks, women in tech, which, is huge, like hiring more women, and just different expertise that traditionally pushed up.
Okay, any more questions? Please.
This question is for BlackBerry. Would you provide similar service like iCloud9 for Vivid Plan customers?
I think in the future that it's definitely under consideration. If you've been following, the BlackBerry movement, we put a pretty big emphasis on mobile computing, and that includes connecting to the clouds. And if you remember, I was talking about being able to develop a platform that can keep all types of systems connected. So even being smart TVs, or even when you're in the cars, connected cars. QNX themselves, they do a lot of in-car app development, being able to connect cars, getting their GPS, connecting to the user's smartphones, and routing them to wherever place they need to go. But really providing a unified experience for the end user. So I can't say that it will be on there for sure, but it's one of the areas that we are definitely looking into.
Okay, maybe two more questions. Then you.
Hi. I got a quick question about today. You guys mostly talk about the web apps. What about the hybrid version of that work with native app and browser coherent? I mean, you got the cloud coherent process. If you can pass the sensor data from the native function and then to the web UI and then provide back response, would that be something that eventually heading to that directions as technology evolves?
So I think what I'm going to say here might be a bit Blackbird specific. I'm not sure of how it's handled in other approaches, but what we have is what we call a WebWorks framework that allows you to develop native extensions. So you can develop a function in C++ while accessing all of the APIs that we provide natively, and expose it as a JavaScript function that you can call within your web apps. I think PhoneGap, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not an expert at PhoneGap, they also do have custom extensions, except they're focused on cross-platform. So whenever they write an extension, they've got to write for all three platforms. So it's definitely, might be slower, might not suit your needs, but if you need to, for BlackBerry, if you need to access something specific, you could always, you're welcome to write your own custom extensions as well.
Okay. The last question.
Hello, I'm Kelvin now. I have a question for BlackBerry. Actually, I'm an app developer, Android developer. But my question is, how could you face your competitors like Android and iOS? They are monopolizing the market. And what is the advantage over them, you think? And what is the attractive point for us, like developers, to move from the other platform to BlackBerry?
No, it's a good question. First of all, it's a very generalized question. But I think I could put a better answer to your latter question with regards to sort of what would motivate you to move from your whatever platform you're developing for onto BlackBerry. There are a few points. The first one I wanted to mention is that when you compare, a lot of people compare quantities of applications between different app stores. And one way to look at it is obviously, one app store has a lot more apps than we do. But another way to look at it is it's a less competitive environment. So if you think back in the days when iOS or Android started their app store, it was empty, right, when they first started. And that's when it was a good opportunity for developers to go in and develop apps and to monetize their applications and earn money, really. And this is the exact same case that's happening with us right now. Although it's a completely new platform, it's not completely empty. As I mentioned, we had 70,000 when we first launched half a year ago, and it's a huge number. But it's another opportunity for other developers to monetize their applications. So if you think about it, you're writing an application say for Android, a simple application, and you're trying to sell it for 99 cents, it most likely won't work well because there are a ton of other alternatives that are being offered at a free cost. And that's what I mean by the competitive stance with iOS and Android. But on BlackBerry, you could be potentially charging the same amount and being able to get something out of it. And the reason why I wanted to share the statistics today was to be able to generate that type of awareness for the general public developers that it's worth investing as well. And at the same time, we're trying to keep the cost of investment to as low as possible, being able to support different types of development approaches and programming languages. So hopefully that's a good enough motivation.
Again, so thank you, speakers. And if you have any further question, maybe they will stay for a while, so you can catch them. So I pass the mic to the MC.
Thank you for the questions. Thank you, speakers. And now it's time for the anticipated lucky draw session. May I please now invite Ms. Ping Wong?
Hello. So I think all of you wrote your names are here, right? First is so many. I have to introduce this t-shirt. Anyone recognize this? No? Anyone know it? It's from this year Google I/O. So I went to Google I/O this year. So I can bring some souvenirs. So, first of all, we have Facebook. Do you want a Facebook t-shirt? Chris Duffy? No? Okay, come on. Leo Lee? Smart Parson Ho.
Quentin So from Moveful Infinity Network.
Alan Chong from Science Park.
Edwin Purwandesi from Telekom Indonesia. Congratulations.
This from Google. Free from Google.
Congratulations, Mini Leong from NATO. Keith Ho from the Hong Kong Council of Social Service. Roman Ng from Tim Young. And Harrison Lowe, founder of Tremolo Products. Congratulations. Now may I invite Mr. David Chung, CTO of Hong Kong Cyberport Management Corporation Limited, to draw our next batch of lucky winners. Eva Chung from Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks. Cheryl Chen Na from Bingdao Technology. And KW Wong from Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks. Sirka Singh from Sirka Singh. Kan Seong from Akamai Faster Forward. Howard Cheong for the same from Akamai. David Yu from Yo Chung International School. Congratulations. Raymond Chung from Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks. T.M. Mao from Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks. T.M. Bao from Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks. Michael Lowe from Work International Limited. And Alan Wong from Adidas Group. Marco Lee from Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks. William Wong from CNR Holdings Limited. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Chung. May I now please invite Mr. Peter Yong, Head of IT and Communication Cluster, Business Development and Technology Support of Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks Corporation for the next batch of Lucky Draw winners. Stephen Kong from Hong Kong Economic Journal. Raymond Wong from Maybao. Andrew Kwong from PCCW. Shuo Li from the University of Hong Kong. Benjamin Pinnick from Epilogue. Congratulations. Kevin Lee from LED Experience Design and Consultancy. Henry Chan from Hong Kong Internet Registration Corporation Limited. Alan Wong from Vocational Training Council. George Ho from Jobs DB Group. Dr. Ao Yong Sing from the University of Hong Kong. Alex Wu from Artemis Digital Limited. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Young. Who will be the lucky winner of the BlackBerry phone worth $5,988, each sponsored by BlackBerry? Please welcome Mr. Alan Wong to draw this lucky winner. Congratulations, Laura Kozy-Zinson from Lighthouse Hong Kong. Congratulations, Carl Yong from Isaac and City University. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Wong. Congratulations, all prize winners. Thank you all guests for attending today's event. Workshops delivered by Google Maps, BlackBerry, and Microsoft will be held in Conference Halls 4 to 7 at 3 p.m. Also, don't miss out our Start Lab event tonight. World Internet Developers Seminar Crossover Start Lab at 6:30 at the Good Lab. Please also be reminded to fill in your feedback form and pass it at the registration counter. I hope all of you have enjoyed today's event. Thank you, and I hope to see you very soon.
Okay.